You cuck fuck. What a miserable day to talk about some wonderful things.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be nice if you were talking about wonderful things, the weather could listen in and just be like, "Oh, what you're talking about? Some new Star Wars and a Thor trailer? Let me just shine some light on you." But no, it's like, "Oh, what's that? You want to talk about some fucking Star Wars? Fuck you, nerd. Have some rain."
I like the rain.
I find it. I don't mind it because I don't have to go out. If I don't have to go outside, but it makes me not want to do things.
True. Well, that's just me today because it's my day off. My one day off work this week.
True. Welcome back to the Pcmr podcast, where we talk about movies, TV shows, comic books, and video games, and other such things that definitely do not absolutely matter at all in any way conceivably possible. But we talk about them anyway because
they matter to us.
Matter is a strong word. I find them fascinating and interesting, and they pass the time until my inevitable death.
We have a good time. Some good escapism from the darkness and depression that is our world.
Nothing matters. We're all going to die.
Come watch TV.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were setting me up for that line, but...
That's a life philosophy for me, quite honestly.
Yes.
We've got some great stuff to talk to you about today.
Yes.
We've got a bunch of trailers that are coming up. We've got some great
some
nerdy
really big
films,
trailers,
some great funny films, some great interesting films coming up. Got some video game news.
Yes, for once. We always say we talk about it, but we hardly do.
It's hardly a factor. We've got some TV news, some TV shows that might be getting a reboot. We have some confirmations on directors, where the Marvel Universe is going.
Yeah, and the casting of some certain things.
Casting of certain people in certain
roles.
Roles?
Yeah. Is that the word you're looking for?
Yeah.
Roles?
In certain bread rolls, yeah.
Yes.
Bread-winning roles? Bread-earning roles?
When I was in Melbourne, I went to a bread top and got some nice bread rolls from there. Have you ever been to Bread Top?
I've never been to Bread Top.
It's like a chain bakery thing in Melbourne, but it's really...
Do they serve just the tops of bread? Or do they serve whole bread?
No, it's whole bread.
Okay, they don't laugh at you if you're like, "Can I have a whole piece of bread?" They're like, "Look at this loser coming and asking for whole bread." No. We serve top of bread.
So you get like just top half. Not even the top half, the top quarter.
The top quarter of bread. You know, the top of a muffin when it stops and it's just like in its little cup thing? We don't sell that bit. We just sell the top of it.
Yeah, so it's on a muffin. Is it muffin top?
Muffin
like
top.
I have right here on
Bread
my stomach. Top. No, Bread Top's really nice though.
It's nice?
They do pastry and like... You go in and you pick up a tray and a pair of tongs and you just put all the stuff that you want on the tray. Then you just give it to the cashier and they put it in little bags for you. And
nice.
It's real cheap.
It sounds like a delightful bakery.
It is a delightful bakery. It is a chain.
So
they're all throughout Melbourne.
Well, speaking of Melbourne, we were both down there, not at the same time, but we were both down there for this similar reasons.
Yeah, to see the comedy festival.
Some bloody comedy festival. Now I want to compare comedy festival experience stories because I think
we purposely didn't earlier, even though we were about to, because we're like, let's talk about this on the podcast, which pretty much surmises our friendship. Let's talk about this on the podcast instead of now.
Oh, what's that? You have an interesting story to tell me? Save it, friend. Content.
Content, yes.
That's content, buddy.
Always thinking about the content.
Always thinking about content. Every conversation I have, I'm thinking like, should I be having this on mic? Because I feel like I'm wasting a lot of good anecdotes and stories and jokes here.
Yeah, I've got some good quips here.
I'm just wasting them on you, an in real life person who wants to share a human connection with me.
Human connection.
How dare you?
Gotta get them views, son.
Exactly. Don't talk to me, scum, unless there's a mic.
Yeah, unless it's gonna get me like an extra 100 views.
I'm like the opposite of like a mob boss. Like, hey, you wearing a wire? No. Well, go put one on. I want them to hear what I have to say.
They have to hear this.
I've got some important anecdotes to share. Did you hear about that Thor movie? Yeah, waka waka, hey.
Waka waka.
That's how I end every sentence. Waka waka. Because I'm Foggy the... Is it Foggy the Bear?
Foggy the Bear? What?
What from the Muppets? That bear. The comedian.
Oh, Fozzie.
Fozzie. Whatever that... Foggy Nelson, Fozzie the Bear.
The bear. He is like a big cuddly bear though, Foggy Nelson.
He is a bit of a bear.
I'd cuddle with that bear.
Nah, he's got a fucked face.
He's a great actor. You, son.
Hey, but I know it, you know. He's walking around being an actor thinking he doesn't have a fucked face. Mate.
he knows, but he's just like, I'm gonna get roles that suit my fucked face.
I don't know why I'm being mean to him.
He's
He's a good actor.
He's a good actor.
I enjoy his performances.
He's a lovable guy.
He's a lovable guy. I've gotten completely off topic. I wanted to talk about comedy, and instead I've insulted a minor
A beloved
TV celebrity.
Marvel actor.
I have insulted a beloved Marvel actor. Let's get into the Melbourne Comedy Festival, because I think your experience was longer
Yeah.
and mine was short up. I feel like my condensed
I
experience...
feel like you might have had a more like unique experience than
Yeah, I had
a
a more-
lot of people have.
That's what I'm thinking. I had like a unique experience because it was very short. We were only there for the night, but I think we got the best kind of like all-round experience
Yeah.
one can get from a comedy festival. So do you want to go first, or should I
But
go
you
first?
go first because you were there
All right.
first.
So I went down there. It was last Sunday. Yeah, last Sunday. Went down there last Sunday. We were just going down to see Auntie Donna, and we booked the tickets ages ago, but we forgot to organise a place to stay, which is
Classic Aiden.
classic Aiden. Yeah, I'm always forgetting like a very key thing. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go to this place. Oh shit, how am I getting there? Oh shit, where am I staying when I get there? Oh well, I'll figure it out. Make it up
Yeah.
as I go.
See, for the longest time, it was just like, oh, Brett lives in Melbourne.
Brett lives in Melbourne. Oi, Brett, let me crash on your floor. I guess so. I mean, I'm a bit busy this week. Okay, thanks. Bye.
just give me a key. You don't have to be here.
I don't need your company.
Just your house, your roof.
Just all your things.
It's all your things.
No, but I put up a Facebook status saying like, hey, I just want to crash for the night on Sunday. Can anyone offer me a room and board for me and my girlfriend? And my new friend, Joe Schaefer, comedian.
Lovely guy. Performed
Mhm.
in Wagga about a month or so ago.
Indeed, he did. He said I could crash on his couch. So I went there. Very lovely gentleman. Southern hospitality up to here. Wonderful place. Cannot stress how nice he was to allow us to stay there. Very grateful. So we stayed there, and after that, he's very close to the city, so we just took an Uber in to the city, went and saw Auntie Donna,
Very nice.
hung out in Chinatown a little bit before the show, got some Chinese food. It was very nice.
Always get some good Chinese food in Chinatown. Hence the name.
Indeed. Went to Max Watts, which was previously called the Hi-Fi Bar. You're very upset about all these venues changing names.
All these venues in Melbourne keep changing their names.
Used to be the Hi-Fi Bar.
Now it's Max Watts. What a bullshit name.
Used to be Billboard.
Now it's freaking 170 Russell. What a bullshit name.
What was the other one?
Galactic Circus, the games arcade
Oh, yeah.
in Crown Casino. Used to be Galactic Circus. Great name for a games
Great
arcade.
name. It's
Playtime.
bold. It's large.
Now Playtime.
Boring. It's something
Playtime
children do.
is what I do with my girlfriend in the bedroom if I had a girlfriend.
What you call your hand now? Is that you after you've sat on your hand for a little bit?
Hey, she's
Pins
a
and
nice
needles.
lady.
I'm sure she is.
Yes, no. Bullshit names because Melbourne likes fucking with me and all the things I love.
Indeed. But yeah, went to Max Watts, previously Hi-Fi Bar. Sold out show. Was really good. Auntie Donna were amazing. Really good. After that, because we were in town, we realized, oh, hey, Joe's show starts in like 15 minutes. Sent a text to his girlfriend asking, like, hey, do you mind if we get like just some free tickets in the door? She's like, oh, no problem. Sure. Head on over. Joe will see you there. So we went over, saw his show. It's a good show. I quite liked it. Not a lot of people there, but I liked it. It was very intimate. It was an intimate experience, and I feel like more people should see him. So I think definitely next year, if you get a chance to see Joe Schaefer, go and see him. It's a funny time. It's a good time.
He's a nice bloke.
He's a nice bloke.
Yeah.
a
And
very
then
nice fella.
you went and did something else after that show. as
Yeah, so
well.
after the show, we were like, well, you know, we're in town for the night. We do have to get up early, but fuck it, we're here. We might as well do one more thing. So Joe suggested, hey, I can get you into Festival Club. Come along with me. So we went over to Festival Club. Before that, I saw a couple of people along the way that I knew. I saw Dane Simpson as I was waiting outside Max Watts.
Friend of the podcast.
Friend of the podcast. Great guy. It was great to see him. Saw some people from Filthy Casuals video game podcast. It was Adam Knox and Ben Vanel.
I'd say friends of the podcast, but they don't know we exist.
They don't know we exist. I wouldn't say friends of the podcast. I'd say I'm a fan of them. Is what
Yeah,
I'm
there
at.
we
Yeah.
go. That's one.
Saw them. It was great to see them. Oh, after Auntie Donna bumped into Michelle Brazier, Wagga local, Wagga legend.
Wagga legend.
Michelle Brazier. Yeah, she is doing a show, or was doing a show, Double Denim, at the Melbourne Comedy Festival. We'll be coming to Wagga for the Wagga Comedy Festival. So I'd recommend that. So when we got to Festival Club, it was being run as by a couple of like a double act. and it was called like House Party, but it was spelled kind of German, so Haus. Yeah, so we got in there. It was like Haus House Party. It was very kind of like, oh yes, this is German House Party, and it had like a guy dressed up as like a scientist behind a DJ booth, and it's like, here, play 11-second discotheque song. It was like, okay, 11-second discotheque, and then like everyone would stand up. So it was like a very much kind of like an artist kind of atmosphere, because everyone there was just like, oh, we're just into whatever bit that goes on, we'll play along with it. So it was interesting. It was very nice atmosphere. Yeah, so first act was Double Denim, so it was Michelle Brazier, and I don't know the name of the other person in the act, but there's two of them. They were doing like this very kind of absurdist kind of act, and that was real good. And then after them was Zach and Vigo. They were real funny, very funny dudes. As well, when I was Michelle Brazier's Double Denim was on, she's I think housemates with Demi Lardner. Yeah, Demi Lardner was filming. After that, I just said hello. I was like, hey, enjoy your podcast. It was Joe was very kind of bemused by my, like, every time I met a comedian, it's like, hey, I listened to your podcast. She's like, you and your podcast?
Yeah.
Bloody obsessed with podcasts. Like, yeah, I bloody love a podcast.
And here he is, like, in the scene.
Just how I interact with everyone. It's like, hey, I listen to your voice before I go to bed. Oh, cool.
That's not weird at all.
That's not weird at all, no. But hey, that's kind of how I expect people to be listening to this, or doing something, going for a walk, cleaning.
I don't think anyone just sits down and does nothing else but listen to a podcast.
No, I couldn't do that. Like, I'm either I have to be sleeping, cleaning, or going for a walk.
I listen to podcasts while I walk my dog lately.
Or cooking. I feel like it's also good for cooking, because then you don't have to pay attention to whatever's on TV. You can just have it on the background.
I feel like podcast, for me at least, podcasts are still a bit much for cooking, because I'm paying attention to not burning my shit.
I can listen to things and not burn my shit.
Nah, I listen to music while I cook, but it's personal preference.
I do music as well. I swap them in and out.
Yeah,
like, it depends what mood I'm in.
Interchangeable.
Yeah,
audio platforms. Anyway, we're not talking about podcasts. We are a podcast.
We are on a podcast. So saw Zach and Vigo. Very funny. Very, very physical, very kind of visual.
Yeah.
I was very surprised when I looked them up. They didn't have like a lot of YouTube videos, because if these guys had like a YouTube channel similar to what Auntie Donna were doing, it would blow up. They'd be so big. It's very funny. It's very absurdist. Like, they had a bit where, like, one of them, Zach, because one of them's from America, one of them is from Sweden. Zach was on stage, was like pretending to drown. It's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And then Vigo would like run past, and you think they're gonna do like a Baywatch kind of bit, but then he just like spits water on him, and then he starts running through the crowd, spitting water on people. He would like jump up onto like there was like a bunch of chairs just kind of stacked up. He jumped up on top of those. Very unsafe. Don't know what the fuck he was doing. It was very kind of like, what the fuck is going on kind of atmosphere. So he would jump up there, spitting on people, and then that was their set. And then after that, there was this woman from Canada. She came out, and like after the last two acts, Michelle Brazier's Double Denim and Zach and Vigo, was for like, well, who's this? Like, I've just seen two double acts that are very absurd. It's very weird. How can you top that, lady? How can you be weirder than these four people that I've just seen now? So she comes out. She's in like a summery dress. She's got a little pink hat on. She's got a guitar. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm just gonna sing some songs. Oh, what? You think you're another music comedian? She comes out. She sings a song that's basically about how much she loves the word cunt and like how it's great that in Australia you can say it. And there's a part where she sings to the tune of John Farnham's The Voice, and she's got it's like you're the cunt trying to understand it. People picked up and started singing along with that so quickly. Like, just, it's John Farnham now?
Classic.
So she goes into cunt. Everyone in the room was going, cunt. And she was like, she was very impressed with that. She's like, I didn't expect you all to pick up with that so quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I was thinking, well, how she's going to follow that? What other song could she do? So the next song she's doing, she's just singing Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You. And I'm like, okay, this is just a bit kind of normal. I don't know why you go into this. So she's singing the verse. It's very, very normal. And then she gets to the chorus and she just starts singing it terribly. So she's singing the verse. It's all like,
beautiful.
I don't know what the words are, but
yeah, she sang it well.
And then it gets to the chorus.
So basically just making fun of the way people generally sing it.
Fucks it up completely. And then she's like the second time it comes to the chorus, she's just sitting down on the stage, like legs spread apart, just going straight into a microphone, and it kind of looks like she's not wearing underwear. My girlfriend turns to me and is like, she not wearing underwear? And I'm thinking, no, she's it's probably just like flesh colored underwear. She's probably wearing underwear. Next thing you know, she takes off the playsuit thing completely naked, and she's rolling around on the stage saying, what was it, like, you'll never find a husband if you keep biting your nails. You'll never find a husband if you keep biting your nails. And that was her act. And then she finished on like doing the chorus perfectly, but like stark naked. And then like the host came out and they tried to give her like some clothes, like, oh, here's your clothes back. She just dumped them back on the ground. It's like, nah, I'm naked now. What was the weird?
That takes a certain level of confidence.
Yeah, it was a very weird, very kind of interesting atmosphere, and I feel like that's like the best kind of like condensed comedy festival experience you can get, because you see a sold out show, you see a small show, and then you see a super weird fucking showcase.
Yeah, you got it all.
Yeah, I was very happy with my, like, it was short but sweet.
You sound like
comedy
you had a good experience.
It was a very good experience. I had a very good time.
Is that your first time like properly doing the comedy
I was
festival?
for my first time properly doing the comedy festival. Yeah,
it's great. I've done the comedy festival quite a few times. I love the comedy festival. It's one of my favorite times of year.
it is a very good time of year.
Yeah.
Like, I liked, like, people were out and about. They were all going to shows.
Yeah, it really feels like the city comes to life.
It does. It does. So how was your festival experience?
Okay, a lot longer than yours for starters.
Mm.
So I was there from Thursday through till Tuesday, and I saw a lot of shows. So on the very first night, I saw the Stevenson Experience.
Oh, yeah.
You heard of them?
I have not heard of the Stevenson Experience.
They're a musical act. They're a duo.
Oh, I
And
do
they're
love a musical duo.
And they're twins.
Oh.
Identical twins. It was real funny. They called me out at one point, but it was like, no, you're wrong. Because they were doing a song, they were talking about how identical they are and like dumb things people have said. They're like, oh, we're as identical as, this thing and this thing. You get the gist of it.
Yeah.
And the part where they're all they get all the audience clapping. And here I was clapping like low towards my lap. So my hands were like below the seat in front of me. So they wouldn't have seen that I was clapping along, even though I was.
Yeah.
So when they're singing about things that are identical, he looks at me, points at me, and goes, like this guy and not participating. And I look at my mum next to me, like, I was participating. He was in my lap. He just couldn't see it.
So I fucking called out.
Yeah, we're in the second front row. So,
Oh, nice.
So I got called out even though I was participating. So fuck you, Stevenson Experience. You were funny, but you called me out. So fuck you. But no,
Continue. What else did you see?
Yeah. See, I'm going in depth with each other. Like, I don't have time. I saw a lot of shows.
Yeah, just rattle them off. Best off.
Then, that night I went and saw Joe Schaefer as well.
Joe Schaefer.
Yeah. Small room. I think there was about...
Is that at the Imperial? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where his show is, yeah.
Probably definitely the same venue you saw it at.
Yeah.
The small room, but it was a good crowd. And I'd heard half of the jokes at least before. So.
Yeah, in Wargo, yeah.
Yeah. So then the next day was Friday, and I saw 2 improv shows on Friday, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Both chosen by my mum, because, with my family, we're all choosing shows we want to go to. So first one was Impromptunes, which is an improvised musical.
Oh, yeah.
And basically what they do is, like, at the start of the show, they're like, hey, someone shout out a name for the show. Someone said, what did I just step on? So I saw an impromptu musical called What Did I Just Step On? And it was real fun. I wouldn't say real funny because it's as funny as improv can be.
Yeah.
But it was a good time, and they were good at improv. Then later that night, I saw the Harry Potter improv, which I believe...
Yeah, that features an old drama teacher, Mr... I was going to call him Mr. Patterson. Ryan Patterson.
Yeah.
Lovely fella.
Yes.
Very funny.
They performed a play for us called Harry Potter and the Australian Exchange Program, which just works. It just rolls off the tongue.
It does.
And
I think he also has another show where it's improvised Shakespeare.
Yeah, they mentioned that on stage. I feel like the funniest one in the Harry Potter one was both him and the guy who played Harry Potter. Because at the start, he was at the Weasley's house saying, I hate you all. I'm going back to the Dursleys. You're all terrible. And And they're like, oh, whose fault is it? And he goes to Hermione, 20% your fault, then 20% Jenny's fault, then 50% your fault to Ron, then 10% miscellaneous. And then Ron goes, 50%? That's almost half. And he's like, 55%. So that's one joke I needed to share because I thought it was real funny.
That's a good joke. Hey, they wrote it on the spot.
Exactly.
They're probably not gonna use it again. I mean, they might. There's probably like a few peppered through things. They're like, keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Maybe you can chuck this in there.
I feel like, especially the first one, Impromptus, I feel like they already had an idea of what the theme was going to be because it ended up being like a Western thing about line dancing. They were already kind of dressed like that. So I feel like they kind of went, let's take whatever's suggested and make it into like a Western line dancing thing. But whatever.
Yeah.
So then the next day, that was my Friday. My Saturday is the day I saw both of the hosts of the Little Dum Dum Club. I saw Carl
Little
Chan-
Dum Dum Club.
Well, then I saw Tommy Dassler. Oh, those were some shows. Okay, I have stories about those.
Yeah, I would assume like the most fucked audiences would be for Carl Chandler and Tommy Dassler.
Okay, so have you heard Carl Chandler's story about the wedding?
No, which wedding?
He was invited to perform at a wedding, and he got there, and it was a fancy dress wedding, so they're all like dressed up like Captain America and ninjas and whatever.
Yeah.
And he got there, they're all drunk, and he rounded them up, and they were just the worst crowd. They were shouting at him the whole time. One guy got naked, went over, faced a wall, and just started yelling at the wall while he was trying to
I feel like
perform.
I've heard parts of this story before.
And it turns out at the end that everyone at the wedding, even though they were fucking with him, like, helling him the whole time, they were all fans of the podcast.
Of course! Of course! The people being the meanest to him are the fans of his
like
podcast.
everyone at this wedding he performed at
That's the
was...
problem with having a podcast where you create this atmosphere of just being mean to your friend, because that's like two friends agreeing like, hey, we can be this level of mean to each other and that's okay. But people listening to it go like, oh, that's what he likes. So they walk up to him in the street and call him a cunt. And it's just...
Because you're not on all the time.
No, you're not on all the time. There's a lot of times where you're like, I'm not funny right now. I'm just trying to walk. I'm just trying to go and get a sausage roll. Please don't talk to me. And then someone fucking drives past and yells at him, fuck you, you cunt. It's like,
but you're not on.
Why?
And like, surely it clicks you. Oh, they're probably a fan of the podcast.
That must be a weird thought of like, if someone yells cunt at you in the street, it's like, oh, they must like me.
Like me. Yeah. So he basically tells the story. And he's like, and to this day, every year at the comedy festival, the party, the bridal party, and everything from this wedding, they get together and come to my shows just to fuck it up. And
all right, yeah, I've definitely heard that part before.
so
yeah,
this show, it was it was a decent sized crowd, but it was like a lot of the crowd weren't laughing at some of his jokes. So he, as he would, he was pointing it out. He wasn't just ignoring the fact.
Oh, who was his like guest heckler?
Oh, Dave Thornton.
Ah, nice.
Yeah,
nice,
he has a
nice.
professional heckler. So, and it's like half the crowd would laugh, half of them wouldn't. Some jokes everyone would laugh, some jokes no one would laugh. And he was like, "You're the fucking weirdest crowd." Like sometimes the crowd will laugh at everything, and then sometimes I'll laugh at nothing. But never do I get a crowd who just I never know if they're gonna laugh or not. So he literally started betting on whether or not his jokes were gonna get laughs.
It's a weird thing to start doing. Like, all right, $50.
Yeah, well, first
Says
off,
you
he betted
laugh
with a
at this,
guy
so-
in the front row, and the guy in the front row was like, "Oh, I've seen this show before, so I know what joke you're about to tell."
It's like, ah, it's cheating. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Then he did it with Dave Thornton a couple of times. Then when we ran out of money, it was like, "Oh yeah, you should do like a strip betting, an article of clothing if they don't laugh." Then Carl's like, "Oh, they'd start laughing real quick."
Ah, we laughed. Get your clothes off, you fuckboy.
Yeah.
Or
So-
still have to keep his clothes on. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh,
Which would be funnier.
But no, I found it real funny. I think I was one of the few who were laughing throughout it. And I went with my dad, and my dad really enjoyed it as well. But then straight after him, I went and saw Tommy Dassler.
I think I convinced you to go see that. I think you were
Yeah,
you
a
were weighing
little
it
bit.
up.
I was
Yeah.
like, because I didn't know what I was going to do, because the rest of my family were seeing Aladdin the musical, and I was like, oh, I don't know. But I ended up going and seeing Tommy Dassler.
Do you think it's a bit weird that like every musical these days is just like an adaptation of like a film or a movie,
Yeah,
like
it's
from
a thing.
fucking ages ago. Like there's a Groundhog Day the musical.
Ugh.
That's Aladdin the musical.
At least in Australia, that's all we see.
like there is the Book of Mormon, but that's like been running for ages.
Yeah.
It's weird to me that like there are so few original musicals these days. Like that's why I think Book of Mormon and Hamilton have stood out so much, because
Yeah,
everything
the
else is
new
just
original.
like, hey, it's bloody Groundhog Day, it's Matilda, and you know, I don't want to be ragging on Groundhog Day and Matilda because I haven't seen them, and they're both written. I think music and lyrics were written by like Tim Minchin, so I assume they're probably good. I just think it's weird that everything is an adaptation of a film now.
Yeah. It's a thing.
Yeah.
But so I have an interesting thing that happened to me during Tommy Daslow's set.
Oh yeah.
2 to be exact. I unintentionally heckled him twice. Unintentionally.
How rude.
I was in the front row,
Yeah.
so I was a target.
Yeah.
So, and he tells a story about how he dropped his phone in the toilet.
Mm.
And he was like, "Oh, put your hand up if you ever dropped your phone in the toilet." And I put my hand up because I've done everything you could possibly do to a phone to break it.
Mm.
And then he's like, "Oh, so," and he asks like the crowd, it's like, "Oh, so you guys all know what do you do if you drop your phone in the toilet?" So me, along with like multiple others in the crowd, goes, "Oh, you put it in rice." And he looked at me like, "Shut up! I didn't say you could fucking talk." He says that right to my face. So I feel like that was a
I
planned
think
bit.
that's a planned bit. Like hey, I'll ask you a question. How fucking dare you answer this question?
I
Yeah.
feel like that was a planned bit. But okay,
Classic joke.
later on, towards the end of the show, this is one you're going to be proud of me for, I think. And he goes, he's talking about how great 2016 was to him, and that he'd let all the bad stuff that happened in it happen again if it meant another good year to him. And he was just like, he looks at me, front row, as I said, he's like, "You, if I got a maxi bond and you got a $400 parking fine, I would take that. I don't even give a shit." So for me, I think about it for half a second if I should say this or not, but I say it anyway. I'm like, I'd take a maxi bond for you getting cancer again.
Oh fuck! Jesus. Brutal. Fuck, you got him. You fucking got him.
I knew you'd love that.
Ah!
I knew you'd love
Yes.
that.
Yes. Oh. That probably peaked so much right now in the podcast.
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
think
sorry.
it did. Your mic, I can see the red dot.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But that's well done. Yeah.
The crowd laughed and he was like, "You listen to the podcast, don't you?" I'm like, on the odd occasion.
On the other occasion.
And he just kind of went on with the show.
That's fuck. I love it so much.
See, the thing is, though, unlike Carl Chandler's show, Carl Chandler's show was very much Little Dum Dum type stuff.
Yeah.
His was a much more like, stand-up story type set.
Yeah.
So me telling him to get cancer was very out of place for the majority of his sets.
So good though. Oh.
So it happened.
That's good. I'm glad that we both have stories where like I've called all of them collectively white cunts, and you've told Tommy Dassler to get cancer. That's yes.
Yes.
This is what I wanted to do when I started this podcast.
Insult other podcasts.
Insult other podcasts. Absolutely.
Yeah. I saw other shows. What else did I see? I went. Okay, I saw one real bad show
Oh yeah, what was a bad one?
called Ben Pobji, and it was like he was like a satirist, and he was talking about some weird
Is this
stuff.
the fat Indian dude with like a mustache, or
Yeah, I think he is a little bit Indian. Yeah.
or is I don't know if he's in is like maybe Sri Lanka, I don't know, but he's like
Yeah,
brownish.
brownish. Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
on, I think
You
he was
know
on Raw
him.
Comedy. I think I saw him on Raw Comedy once. I'm gonna look up a picture and I'm gonna show it to you,
Yeah,
and
I
you tell me
didn't-
if that's this fella.
I don't really like him that much. Like other people in the room liked him. But I'm just
Did he have like a lot of one-liners, or
No, I wouldn't say that. Because like, he wasn't even really comedy. That's I don't know. It was weird. He went around the room and he made us all introduce ourselves, and it was
Okay, no, this isn't the person I'm thinking of now.
okay. No, it was
I'm
real.
thinking of some other guy.
Yeah, it was a real weird show. So I don't know. Oh, I'm thinking, did I see anything? I don't think I did see anything else because I only went to the one on Monday, and I know I didn't see any on Sunday because I went and saw my friends. So yeah, that was about my comedy festival experience.
That's a good comedy festival experience, and Thank you very much for that, that beautiful story. Oh, I haven't laughed like that in a while. That was good.
I'm glad. I'm
You know,
glad I
I
could
did-
give you that.
That almost makes up for not being able to get to the Dilruk Jai Singer roast, because that would have been such a brutal night.
Well, I gave you a little something.
a little taste of a roast that I missed out on. I'm kind of annoyed that they didn't record that and put that out as a podcast, even if it was something that like they put up on Bandcamp and was like, "Hey, pay $5 and get to listen to it." I would pay to hear that because I love a roast. It's so
I love a
super-
roast,
Mm.
whether it be a roast of a comedian or a roast dinner.
Both. I would love to go like have a roast and watch a roast.
Have a roast at a roast.
A roast at a roast. Oh,
And just maybe like you make the whole building like a roasted chicken, like in
I
a
don't think
roast
I'd
at a
go-
roast in a roast.
I don't think I'd go that far, but if like it could be like a restaurant that serves burps. No, that a restaurant that like it's like a roast kind of a carvery, I guess.
Yeah.
But not shit. Is
Yeah.
that possible to have a carvery that isn't shit?
Yeah,
Mm.
no, I don't think it is.
Anyway, but like a nice one where like they serve like you get a whole bunch of like different roasts and stuff, and then like once a month there is a roast
In
of
the-
someone, or like there's like a roast master general, a Jeff Ross kind of guy in
Yeah.
there, and like people can either nominate themselves or it's like a bunch of comedians. Because I feel like there needs to be more of a roast culture in Australia because we have that as like a ribbon your mates.
we
like-
have we have that. As
we have
like
a casual
on a
version
personal
of it.
level.
But we need that professionally to be fucking with each other because we're very good at it, and
Yeah.
we're putting this skill. We're not putting it to use. We need to put that skill to use.
I remember seeing like a YouTuber who moved from Australia to America, and she was talking about like how it's so different in America. Because in Australia, you're like, oh, you call your mates cunts and you're fucking with them. But she's like, in America, everyone's so nice. Like, I had someone the other day tell me that I had a nice shirt. I'm like, wait, what? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with my shirt? But no, they were actually just complimenting my shirt. You don't get that in Australia.
That doesn't happen. No, like if someone wears a nice shirt, it's like, oh, nice shirt, dickhead. Where'd you get that from? The fucking the
Gay
shit
cunts are us.
the shit store for shit cunts. You fuck, kill
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, see, that's Australia.
Hi, Gavin. I
Home
don't
and
know.
native land.
I was just trying to figure like how to. It's yeah.
Yeah.
We're kind of fucked to each other.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, you told a person that you'd never met before that you wish that they had cancer again,
So I could get a Maximon.
so you could get a maximum. That's the level. That's Australia right there.
See, as I left, cause I also thought it was something I could add on. Because when he said it to me, and he was like, and I'm not even hungry right now, when he said about his Maximon, I was like, I should have added on to it, and I don't even like Maximons. See,
Yeah.
I feel like that's the direction
And
we
I've
get.
got to
It's
say-
like, it's not the main laugh, but it's like a little tacked on. But
I don't even like
I
maximums.
was still happy with the laugh. Anyway, we've got some
I
actual
fucking love
nerdy...
maximums though. Just
Oh, so do I. I just thought that'd be a good thing to
I don't want to.
say.
Yeah, but I don't want to put that kind of energy out there of like, oh yeah, we don't like Maximons. No, Maximon. If you ever want to sponsor us, oh my god, I will
Send
take
us-
a Maximon
send-
sponsorship straight away,
send
even if it's just paying us in Maximons.
And let's be honest, we take any sponsorship.
We take any sponsorship. That's true.
Like,
That's the
apart from like the Nazi Association of America.
Oh no, like
pretty much any sponsorship.
I don't want to take any like hate blood money, but I'll take like a giant corporation money.
Yeah, I take dirty money. Just
Dirty
not
money,
blood
not
money.
blood money, dirty money. Yeah, but I feel like that's kind of the thing with like podcasts these days is like you're trying to build a billboard out of calling your friend a cunt.
Yeah, pretty much. Like a comedy podcast.
Comedy podcast, it's all entirely like we want people to be listening, and you want to be able to say to an advertiser, "Hey, we have like 10,000 people listening. Chuck us a sponsorship. We're reaching a wide audience." Like, how have you reached that audience? Oh, I call my friend a cunt for an hour,
Yeah,
and then I talk about Spider-Man.
yeah, pretty much.
That's podcasts
Yeah, have
are
my
weird.
money. Give it all. Audible. No, Audible don't really do many sponsorships on podcasts anymore, do they?
No, not anymore. No, they've
I've heard
kind
a
of
lot
they've reached peak.
Blue Apron lately.
Yeah, but that's very much America because
Yeah.
that's not really a
I listen to a
a
lot of
service
American
that's offered
podcasts.
here.
What about what those antimicrobial underwear?
Oh,
Mac Weldon.
Mac Weldon, yeah.
Yeah.
All I've heard is
We're doing an ad spot for ads we don't even have.
ads we'd like to have.
Sponsor us, Mac Weldon.
I'd like to have some antimicrobial underwear.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. Maybe stop your fucking ass from smelling all the time, you cunt.
Fuck you too, buddy. Dirt. All right, let's get into some news. Let's talk about some stuff.
Halfway through, we haven't even started news.
So speaking of people who are fucked and swear a lot, Deadpool is getting a sequel, as we all know, and we know who is going to be playing Domino.
And now we know who's going to be playing Cable. Spoiler alert, it's not Keira Knightley.
No, and it's not someone I expected, just because he was already cast in another thing, so it didn't even cross my radar to figure this guy.
Let's just say it. It's Josh Brolin.
It's Josh Brolin. Now, when you hear the news, there's two thoughts that go in your head. One is like, oh, that's actually a good casting choice.
Yeah.
And, oh, but he's already Thanos. But then there's a third thought that comes in. It's like, no, it's a separate universe. I guess they could probably do it. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's done it, then there isn't a problem.
Yeah, well, obviously he would have had to probably get some sort of consent or whatever.
I don't think he has to get consent, but he probably had to do a courtesy call to them. As like, hey, like the same thing with Joss Whedon for Batgirl. He gave Kevin Feige a courtesy call. It's like, hey, DC is offering me a chance to write and direct a Batgirl movie. Is that cool with you guys? And of course, Kevin Feige, being the lovable gentleman that he is, like, yeah, I want to see a fucking Joss Whedon Batgirl movie. You go make that shit.
Yeah, and he's pretty much said the same thing about, Josh Brolin being Cable. Like, look, he's an actor. He can do his own thing. I'm really excited to see him as Cable. I think he'd do a great for it. He's
and
a great
they're two
actor.
very different roles.
Very different roles.
Yeah, so you could very easily do both. So I'm quite excited to see this. Who are the other names that were being thrown out? Because it was Stephen Lang,
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman. And I think Josh Brolin has some better kind of comic timing to team up with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna he's very good at playing a straight man. Like even in Men in Black 3, which isn't a very good film.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that. But he's got a really good Tommy Lee Jones impression that works really well in that film. And I could see something kind of straight-laced like that being done in a Deadpool film where he's just kind of yeah, I'm gonna take you over here, and my name's Cable, and I've got a robot arm.
Yeah, I feel like I think a lot of people are thinking more of the physique in all of our assumptions.
Yeah,
about
but no one's
Cable.
thinking of how something that would bounce good.
If you're
of
thinking
Ryan Reynolds.
physique, Ron Perlman, Stephen Lang, obvious choices.
Yeah,
but if you're really thinking about someone who has the right range and acting ability to do this role, I think Josh Brolin's a great choice.
He is a great choice. I'm quite happy with this.
Yes.
So this comes out. Is this next year?
Yeah, I think it's next year, 2018. Probably February again. February, March.
They could probably push it to summer because it made a lot of money. That's the thing that happened with Kingsman. That came out in February, made a lot of money, was this R-rated kind of subversive comedy thing, and now it's getting a summer release for Golden Circle. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
There's a teaser trailer for out there, but it's not really worth talking about because it's just
It was 16 seconds.
all it says is hey, it's coming, and I'm like, well, when there's a proper trailer, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Waste our
though.
time on that.
No.
But yeah, we got more casting things about a completely different universe, the Harry Potter universe.
Yes. So we've known that Dumbledore is going to feature in the next Fantastic Beasts film.
Young one.
Because he got mentioned a couple of
Young
times.
Dumbledore, if you will.
In the first Fantastic Beasts. And now we know who is going to be playing young Dumbledore. That's Jude Law.
Which I don't think was on anybody's radar.
No, I didn't.
Because
I wasn't thinking of Jude Law when I was thinking young Dumbledore.
I don't think anyone's thought of Jude Law for the last 10 years. What has he been in?
Oh, he was in Sherlock Holmes. He was in other things. He was in he did that thing. What is it called? Oh, I forget it. But it was this recent kind of indie darling thing.
Yeah, but do you remember 10 years ago where you almost couldn't go to a movie without seeing Jude Law?
Yeah, he was
in
a
it?
big old movie star. But now he's just kind of an
I got all my
actor.
money. Now I just chill out and do what I want.
Which is good. I feel like that's a good place for an actor to be in because then they're not worrying about hey, all these press following me. Oh, what are you doing? That's a good place. Daniel Radcliffe is kind of in that place. He's just making movies that interest him. He's not going.
Yeah, I'm sure I like Jude Law. He'll come out some point and do another high-profile role. So yeah, but this is a pretty high-profile role for someone who's just been chilling out for the longest time.
I'm keen to see it. I like Jude Law.
Yeah, I've got no problems with him. He's done a lot of rom-coms, which, but
fine. Same with what's his face? All right. What's his name? The Texan guy is in Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew
I was
McConaughey.
thinking, I could even hear the line in my head all right. I didn't do it. I didn't do it
all right.
Yeah.
Name's
Matthew
rookie numbers. Got a
McConaughey's
bust
name.
name.
He was in Interstellar, which was a great movie. Shut up, fight me. I know a lot of people don't like that movie
Hey,
as much as I do.
I really like 2/3 of that movie.
I liked all of it.
I thought the third act was kind of shit, but that's just my opinion, you know. And movies are all—it's subjective. Art is subjective. If you like something, that's okay, unless that's an Adam Sandler film. Then you're wrong.
Then you're
But for
right.
the most part, that's
Hey,
okay.
his old stuff was all right.
You're just nostalgic. It's all bad. No, he's fine. I don't know. I'm picking Adam Sandler. Apparently, he's the nicest guy in Hollywood. Real nice guy, apparently.
Whatever.
Anyway, another guy who's real nice, apparently, James Gunn.
Yeah.
is coming back to direct Guardians 3,
Yes,
which of
he-
course he is.
Of course he is. See, there was a lot of rumors that were saying, "Oh, he's not coming back. This is his last one." But then he made a big old post on his very active Facebook page, where basically he's like, "Oh, I love these characters. I wouldn't feel right leaving this franchise in someone else's hands." So I'm
No,
gonna-
he
gonna
like
do it."
Joss Whedon during Age of Ultron. He looked tired. He looked like he'd kind of. I kind of want to.
Yeah,
do
and didn't
something
he like
else.
delete like his Twitter and
He did.
it's like we basically killed Joss Whedon for a while. We broke Joss Whedon.
But it the opposite for James Gunn. He has leaned into it. This is like the biggest, like the most
Well,
success
because
he's had in ages.
until now, he's really done like indie films. Like, so this is something huge for him doing.
And he loves working with these people. It's a great cast.
Yeah.
They're very.
Well, if he's doing well and he's enjoying it, and everyone around him's enjoying it, then why stop?
They seem to be all very amicable with each other. Like they seem
Yeah.
to all like each other, which is not the
They
case
all
with a lot of
gel.
casts. But yeah, they seem to all gel, which is good.
Yeah. Though I'm looking forward to Guardians 3, which is
Oh, look.
probably that'll be a Phase 4 film.
That'll be Phase 4, yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how Infinity Wars affects the Guardians and how Volume
'cause
3 comes out.
They're going to be in that as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all in it.
There's a lot of Marvel shit coming up.
A lot of it.
We've got some stuff
So
to
much.
talk about in a little bit, but before we get to that, we've got one more bit of news before we get into these trailers. Monkey Magic. Brett, you have no idea what Monkey
I have
Magic
no
is.
idea what
All right,
Monkey
so
Magic
it is, I guess, a 70s TV show. Or 70s or
I
80s.
was
I think
alive then.
it's at 80. I think it's 70s or 80s TV show.
Probably
From
more towards the 80s because I think
Yeah.
not everyone had color sets. In
I'm going to
the
say
70s
let's
still.
say 80s. TV show from Japan, based on a Chinese long story, Journey to the West. You're aware of Journey to the West a little bit?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a general understanding of it.
Yeah, so it's about this character, Monkey. He was born on a stone. A lot of things have been based off him, like Goku is very much based on the Monkey King. Like that idea of like him coming down in that little pod, crashing into the earth. He's got his tail, he's got his nimbus, he's got his little staff thing. That's all very Monkey. And even like Son Goku is like a Japanese version of Sun Wukong, which is the Japanese version of Sun Wukong, which is a Chinese name of the Monkey King. So there was this show in the 70s that was dubbed. It was real cheesy. It was real popular in Australia.
Yeah.
So Australia and New Zealand are teaming up to co-produce a reboot. It's going to be this 10 half-hour episode thing that will air on the ABC here, NZTV in New Zealand, and Netflix globally. And it looks... I'm kind of interested to see it.
See,
I'm a little worried just because the cast looks very kind of like Maori and Australians, where I would like it if they'd had like some Chinese people, especially to play Monkey. Like at least,
yeah.
at least. But it seems like they've gone with some white guy to play him, which is a little annoying. Also, Into the Badlands at the moment, which is a TV show that's on FX or AMC. It's on AMC.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But yeah, that one's like, it's very kind of like martial arts based, and it's very loosely based on Journey to the West. But they've like introduced elements of it. Like Nick Frost at the moment is on that show, and he's playing like a version of Pigsley, kind of the piggy character. So I'd be interested to see how this show does, just because there aren't a lot of action adventure shows that are on Australian television. Like in ages, like everything has just been like either a cooking show or reality show or something like House Husbands. It's all very tame. So this, I'm not sure if like Australia can pull it off, because I want to see some really cool action sequences in this. Like I don't necessarily need big special effects, but I want to see some cool martial arts. That's like my bare minimum here is like cool martial arts, some fun character moments.
Yeah. See, the more I think about this show, the more I think I think I remember this one Saturday night ages ago that I flicking channels, and I got to ABC, and I think they were running a rerun of it. And
They used to do it a lot.
yeah, and I remember I was with my mum, and she knew the show. I think she said she used to watch it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, that opening theme you showed me before and stuff. I'm like, I think I might.
You would have
remember
seen
it.
like parts of it at some point. It was pretty prolific
Yeah.
in its day. So I'm kind of keen for this just because, hey, you know, a cool, interesting thing on Australian television. Yes, please.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm trepidatious about them like kind of appropriating a Chinese story with a bunch of like Australians and Maoris.
We
in it,
are
which is kind of
Australians. We are pretty racist.
We're a little fucked. So I'm hoping this isn't fucked, and it's like the story and the action is good enough to kind of negate any of that. So that's where I'm at the moment.
Yes.
I'm really hoping it's good. Because I really liked Monkey Magic back in the day. It's some good shit.
Maybe I'll try and find some reruns. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about some trailers. Ooh, boy, do we have some trailers.
Oh, we have a lot of trailers to get through. Let's start with TV, and then we'll get into some of these comedies. Cloak and Dagger, which is a show that we've known is coming for a little bit. We've got a trailer, which I didn't expect a
It was
trailer.
very soon. Very soon.
Did not expect a trailer at this point. That means like maybe we'll get a trailer for Runaways soon. Has that started filming yet?
No, I think it has.
I feel like it has. They released like the roster of characters. We haven't got like a cast list yet, so maybe it hasn't started filming yet. But we've got a roster yet. We've got Squirrel Girl, Speedball, Nightshade or something. There's like 5 characters, and then that's all for like the New Warriors. No, it's New Warriors. Runaways. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I was just thinking. Wait, I thought Speedball was new.
Because there's all these new like Marvel shows coming that they're all.
Man, I
confusing
really
my head.
hope. Well, I a little bit hope that in New Warriors they go in a little bit of a dark direction and they let Speedball become Penance. Because how fucking I like
hate
that.
Penance. Penance is so boringly kind of 90s angst. It's
I'd like that if they really
even though
just
it's mid
leaned
2000. It's
if they
so
really
angsty.
leaned into the stupidness of the character.
But I think it's going to be like a half-hour kind of comedy thing because they've got Squirrel Girl there. You can't really go dark with Squirrel Girl. She's the
and
opposite of
I guess
darkness.
people are probably going to prefer the fun Speedball Robbie Ball one than the dark.
That's
have
what
to
I
pay
prefer.
for my
Like,
sins. This suit
There
has
isn't a good-
612 spikes.
There isn't a good superhero comedy at the moment. Like I think Powerless is getting better. I haven't checked back in with it, but I think it's getting better. But there isn't like a really good one that's like got good action and good comedy, but like is mainly like a half-hour kind of comedy thing, but with some cool action scenes in
Yeah.
it. So I don't know where this one's going, but this one seems to be more kind of like a teen drama, kind of that Riverdale kind of crowd. So it kind of could spill over to that kind of like crowd that the CW usually gets, but they're gonna kind of get it here with Cloak and Dagger. So I'm interested in it because the way it's shot looks pretty good. It looks like all of the cinematography is pretty nice. The cast seems to be pretty good. And I haven't read a lot of Cloak and Dagger. I've only ever seen them like pop up in other people's stuff. So I'm interested to see how this show goes and whether, you know, it's engaging enough for me to commit to my idea of watching everything in the MCU.
I feel like this trailer really, I think it was maybe only like the first 2 episodes worth of stuff they showed us.
Yeah, I don't think they showed a lot.
Yeah, because they only showed a tiny bit of them becoming like Cloak and Dagger. Well, we saw Cloak with his cloak, and we saw Dagger get like her little light dagger, but you
dagger
didn't
thing,
see
yeah.
her with like the full white suit, which she's probably going to get.
I don't think it's going to be exactly the same.
Oh, probably
'cause
not going to be exact.
in
same,
the
but I
comics, it's very boob window, stomach, navel
and
heavy,
yeah.
which is weird to do for a little.
she's a teenager.
Just a teenager. So I hope they don't do it.
Like,
Like, I don't mind a white outfit.
give her like a white
Something
get
like
up.
whatever White Canary wears in
Yeah.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Like something like that.
give
Not
her a
quite
white-
that because
Yeah,
Marvel
white
doesn't
get
quite
up, but
do
not quite as revealing. Yeah.
Marvel doesn't quite do like the leather outfit thing.
Yeah.
They're more kind of like that tactical army cloth thing. That's what
Yeah.
they've been doing a lot for the costumes, which I think is better personally, but that's just me.
Like if it was actually in combat, it would work better.
Because the leather is just, it sounds like if you took away all like the sound that you put in later, if it was just on set, it's just a lot of
Yeah.
like it's just all.
Put my microphone out as well.
That's what all of the all of those CW shows probably sound like
Yeah.
on set, with a little bit of, oh, but Ray, why? Ah, it's
Yeah, I feel you. Looks good though.
it looks pretty good. I'm looking a little bit forward to it. So let's talk about some of these funny trailers because I wanna save.
Little Hours. Let's talk about that one.
This one kind of came out of nowhere. I saw it talked about on like a Vanity Fair article. There was
Man, Aubrey Plaza's doing a lot lately.
Aubrey Plaza is doing a lot, and I'm glad to see Alison Brie in movies because
Yeah.
I quite like Alison Brie.
Yeah. So lately, Aubrey Plaza's been in Legion, real good,
Mm-hmm.
and England Goes West,
Mm-hmm.
and now Little Hours. And in each show, she's just kind of playing herself.
She's kind of just a little bit fucked.
Yeah, and I feel like one day I'll get sick of that, just like, with Sacha Baron Cohen and Helena Bonham Carter.
Mm.
But at this point, I'm not sick of Aubrey Plaza being Aubrey Plaza.
No, it managed to still be fresh enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one seems like it's going like all out with it's R-rated. And like they're having sex, they're having
It
anal
looks
sex.
like I'm hoping to see. I'm probably not going to rush out to see because it's not going to be shown.
No, I'm not going to rush out
here.
to see
No,
it.
but
Like,
if it shows up on Netflix, that's when I'm going to watch it.
yes.
Yeah.
It would be a fun evening.
Yeah, it does. It seems like one of those movies are like, oh, it's on Netflix? Yeah, chuck it on. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, let's have a few drinkery.
Mm.
I'm about to say drinkery doos.
Mm.
That's what we drink here in Australia, drinkery doos.
Something I might see in the theaters, though, is The Hitman's Bodyguard. Speaking of Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You.
Yeah.
So Deadpool and Nick Fury team up to just yell motherfucker at each other for
Pretty much.
90 minutes to 2 hours.
While things explode around them.
Mm.
I don't think there's anything else we need to say.
It is interesting how like these days films are just a lot of people swearing at each other.
But it's
Like
still
I was
real
watching
good.
Little Hours and Hitman's Bodyguard back to back, and it's just a lot of the joke is like none saying fuck you, and in this one the joke is Samuel L. Jackson saying motherfucker. So
Yeah.
it's interesting, but it was funny, and I am kind of interested to see Samuel L. Jackson and Ryan Reynolds bounce off each other because they seem like they
I
have
feel
good
like they'd
screen
have
chemistry.
great chemistry.
I'm keen for that. I'm just hoping the story's good and that we haven't seen all the jokes.
Screw the story. Jokes and action.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
When I say story is good, I mean the story is like conducive to good jokes and good action.
Yeah, okay, I feel
That's
you.
because I'm not looking for like Shakespeare here. But if
No.
the story has enough like good beats that allow for some good action scenes as well as some good comedic moments, that's what you're looking for. Like in a superhero movie, you're not looking for Shakespeare. You want some good dialogue. But what you're looking for really is good moments that set up good set pieces.
So,
All right. But something where you are looking for a good story and some good dialogue and some good acting is Detroit. This is a movie from what's her name? It's like Bigelow something.
Not sure. Is this the one that's by the same people as Deepwater Horizon, or is that the other?
No.
one?
That's someone else.
Oh yeah, okay, it's a different one.
This is I forget her name, but it's like something Catherine Bigelow. That's what it is. She did The Hurt Locker and Zero Dark 30. So she's done a lot of kind of like military kind of American government films.
Yeah.
And this is a story I haven't heard anything about this because
No.
you don't hear a lot about like kind of modern American history in Australia. You get the gist of things. You
Yeah.
get the big parts, but all like the little stories
Yeah,
could go completely over our head.
all that stuff with like Trayvon Martin, whatever, they all talk about that. I'm like, I'm not 100% certain of this situation. I didn't hear about it as it unfolded.
Oh, I remember hearing about it as it unfolded, but that's just because I like tragic stories.
It's just like your life.
Yeah, it's just like my life.
Roasted.
But this list looks good. We've got John Boyega, which I'm always glad to see John Boyega. I
He's
quite
a
like
good
him.
boy.
He's a good boy. He's a good egg.
Good
That John Boyega. John Boy Egg.
That was a stretch.
Yeah. We've got I forget his name, but it was Eazy-E in Straight Outta Compton. He was
Yeah.
also in Kong Skull Island. I quite like that actor. He's
Yeah.
got good like screen presence. He's got good chemistry with people.
Yeah.
I like
He
seeing him
does-
in things.
He does
It
well.
seems like we've also got Anthony Mackie. I thought I saw him in this.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
there's that
remember
kid actor who was in what was he in? He was like a child actor, but now he's like playing an adult, and I still can't take him seriously as an adult because I just see a child's face on a slightly taller child's
Yeah,
body.
Slightly bigger body, yeah.
Yeah. But
No,
it
I
looks
remember
good.
that kid as well. Like I saw him.
I'm keen. I'm keen for this. It looks tense. It looks crazy. It looks like an apocalyptic future, but it's like America's past. Like America's.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parts of America that are
And this
just
is like
fucked.
recent past, isn't it? When was this
This
based?
is like 70s, I think.
Yeah.
It looks fucked. It looks great. Looks like it's going to be some good music in it. Looks like it's going to be good acting. A lot of tense moments. I'm keen. I'm very keen
and
for
hopefully
Detroit.
a good story, and then we'll learn something.
All right, now I think we'll save
Save
old.
the big two.
Do you want to save the big two, or do you want to go Thor? Oh, all right, we'll do Thor now, and then we'll talk about these Star Wars trailers.
Okay, let's
right.
do it in that order.
All right, so Thor Ragnarok came out with a trailer from nowhere, really. Like, usually all of these, even Spider-Man, we get these like, oh, here's a teaser trailer, here's a little tease, 15 seconds, we're going to release a trailer in 2 days or tomorrow. It's just like, just release the trailer. Stop giving me trailers for trailers. And they did that. Thor Ragnarok, I think that's probably Taika Waititi saying like, hey, you know what I really hate?
It's titled a teaser trailer. As you watch the video, it calls it a teaser trailer, but it's 2 minutes. So it's really an actual trailer.
But it's like, it doesn't show like any story elements. It's just like a...
I get that it's a teaser. In
This
the
is
fact
what a
that it just
teaser
kinda
trailer
shows
used
you-
to be, instead of being a trailer for a trailer. This is like a tease, like, hey, this is coming. Ooh.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that it's Taika Waititi going like, oh, I hate those little 15-second trailer things. Let's not do that. Let's just drop a teaser trailer just out of nowhere. And then they're like, okay. And it's a really good trailer. Like,
yeah, it's different. But
like there's a lot of... It's very Guardians of the Galaxy in a way.
But I'm thinking, like, while it was weird seeing that, it took me a couple of times to warm up to this trailer. But maybe it's what 4 needed, because especially
kind of is.
as 4 being one of the tentpole characters in the Avengers, his movie's been pretty poor in comparison to like your Iron Man.
I probably like them more than most people seem to have responded to them, but
I've always enjoyed them, but you know, the general reaction to them has been a lot poorer than like your Iron Man, your
yeah.
Captain
But
America,
it seems
whatever.
like this one's gonna be pretty good. Like they're doing a lot of bold movements. Like there's a lot of moments in a trailer that seems like, hey, here's how we're gonna shake things up completely. Where Thor's hammer destroyed.
Yeah,
you got
straight up.
Kate Blanchett coming in as like the first female like movie villain. In fact, we've had female villains on the TV shows.
Yeah.
But we haven't. This is the first time we've had a female villain in the movies. She's coming in.
Badass.
She looks pretty badass. I'm liking that costume. I'm liking her attitude. She comes in. She destroys Thor's hammer. I'm not exactly sure what her entire plan is. But yeah, Thor gets thrown through like a wormhole. Gets trapped on Sakaar, which is where Planet Hulk took place.
Yep, where Hulk got imprisoned and made to fight as a gladiator.
He gets chucked into a gladiatorial stadium. I think he's caught by a Valkyrie.
Yeah.
I think there's like a flashback thing in the trailer. I'm not sure the flashback or flash forward, where like she's fighting Hela, and it seems like all the other Valkyrie are dead. So it's just her left. She's stuck on Sakaar. She's probably like just hiding there or something. She chucks Thor in the arena, and he fights the Hulk, and we get that big laugh of the trailer where when Hulk is revealed, Thor is just like, yes.
He's
good.
a friend from work.
I do like that idea. It is a very kind of like Australian, New Zealand kind of joke. It's like, oh yeah, it's just thinking the Avengers is work.
Yeah.
Thor, you need to get a job. I have a job. I'm an Avenger.
Yeah. I like because if you remember the first Thor movie, he was hardly a person in that.
No.
But the later we get on, the more personality that Thor has, and the more Chris Hemsworth's Australian humor shines through. I feel like that's why we love Chris Hemsworth so much, because he just brings that bit of Australian humor into it that it's just we love so much.
He was the best part of Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Like
best part.
His jokes were so stupid. They're very stupid. But they were like, they're kind of Australian
And
stupid.
answer the phone. I can't. Why? It's in a fish tank. Just the repeated joke of drinking coffee like, I hate coffee.
I don't think you can bring your cat in here. Oh, I don't have a cat. But you said my cat. My cat. No, my cat. It's my dog. Your dog's name is my cat? Yeah, Michael Hat. Call him Mike for short. So fucked.
It's so ridiculous. And I'm sitting there laughing at these jokes, thinking, I wonder if anyone from anywhere else in the world laughed at these dumb jokes. Which I'm certain Chris Hemsworth wrote those jokes. I'm certain.
I'm sorry, there's a lot of improv there, probably.
Yeah.
But it was very dumb. He's got good comic timing, and I think apparently he's going to be really funny in this movie. I'm fine with that. Like, as long as the film is entertaining,
What would you feel about a Chris Hemsworth stand-up special? It'll never happen.
it'll never happen.
But how would you feel about it if it happened?
I'd be curious.
Curious?
I'd be curious. Yeah, I don't think that's where he wants to go.
No, definitely not. It's
He's
never
too
gonna
muscly
happen.
to be like, I'm too muscly to be doing things like that.
What if what if you did a stand-up special where the whole time he's doing pull-ups while telling
Oh, he's doing a
jokes?
salmon ladder, just like kung, just like every time he hits a punchline, it's like, and then the chicken crossed the road. Ha 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 ha! Just that would be great.
Yeah.
I would totally watch a Chris Hemsworth doing a salmon ladder and telling jokes special.
Yeah.
That's
what
the
a
next step for
scream.
comedy right there.
Workout comedy.
Mm,
Not comedy about workout. It's comedy while they work out.
yes. But no, and that sick fucking Led Zeppelin song in there, Immigrant Song, which is a great choice. Like, I've been waiting for them to use a song that like features like Viking imagery.
Mm.
And I was hoping for a monomath. I know that's a stretch. Led Zeppelin's
Stretch.
Immigrant Song, that's the next best step.
Yeah, it's a logical choice.
Great choice. Great trailer. And you can see why this is James Gunn was saying like this might be his favorite Marvel trailer. It's because it's most
It's pretty
like
much his film.
it's like, oh, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. But it wasn't directed by me, so it will surprise me. Hooray!
Yeah. And let's be honest, we should have called it would be something like that when it was announced it was Taika Waititi.
Mm.
I don't know why I wasn't thinking it would be like this with him, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is it looks good. I'm excited for this. All right, now we've got 2 Star Wars trailers. One is for The Last Jedi, which a very anticipated film because we've had Star Wars the 40th anniversary special. There's a lot of things going on in Orlando, Florida. Is that what that is?
Yes.
And we also had a trailer for Battlefront 2. Now, here's the big question, Brett. Which of these is a better Star Wars trailer?
I don't know.
Because while I'm more excited for The Last Jedi, I think Battlefront 2 might have the better Star Wars trailer. Just
Yeah.
because
It
it's
reveals-
not like a Star Wars story we've seen before. And it showed me, like, new things. Because you think of The Last Jedi,
Yeah.
like, it's a good trailer, but it's very much like a lot of things you've already seen in The Force Awakens.
and at the same time, it makes no fucking sense.
I think a lot of people have been talking about this, but you look at the Force Awakens trailer, it was a lot of reveals, like things we haven't seen before. Here's a stormtrooper without their helmet on. Here's Rey. Here's and then they got that bit at the end. We're like, hey, here's the Millennium Falcon. You haven't seen it in like 30 years. Wow! Oh my god, it's so amazing!
See,
I'm so excited.
I still remember those first couple of seconds of that trailer where it's just a stormtrooper and he pops his head up and he just takes the helmet off. Do you still remember that?
Mm.
I don't often remember trailers, but I remember that.
But yeah, that was a pretty good one. But yeah, there's only like a few things in here. Like there's those little junky things that have got red trails behind them,
Yeah.
going up against some new kind of AT-AT, which I'm keen for that.
So I'm excited for The Last Jedi, but I think Battlefront had the better trailer just because the story is something we haven't seen before.
Yeah,
and that it's
and
worth
hopefully
following.
it means they have a story mode.
There's definitely a story mode. That's like, I think that's pretty much confirmed. There's going to be like a story mode thing.
Yeah, because I regretted my purchase in Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, I didn't get it
But I
because
played it for like 2 months. Then it's just like, stop playing for a while because I got another game. And by the time I went back to it, everyone was just so much better than me.
Yeah.
I was like, this game isn't fun anymore.
I
I could like compete, but when it first came out, but I can't compete anymore, so it's not fun.
I'm terrible at multiplayer games. I don't like playing because they're no fun. Because like a game shouldn't be like 30 hours of you dying constantly for you to have fun. There should be a learning curve. Like even if like
You've
something
never played Dark Souls or Bloodborne.
I have played Bloodborne and it's not fun. Call me a bitch. I don't care. Fuck you. Your weird way of having fun is having a miserable time. You're the weird one, not me. Fuck you.
I may be a masochist.
You may be a masochist, exactly.
There's one drawer in my bedroom you're not allowed to look in.
But we haven't really seen a story from the perspective of the Empire before, and I like this idea of following like this kind of elite stormtrooper after the fall of the Empire, and it kind of turns to like, well, what does the war mean now? How does the war change? Like, the war's not over.
Yeah,
So
it's just the opponent has majorly has the upper hand now.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I'm interested in that story, and it looks good.
Do you want to go halves on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Something
Yeah.
we can do.
All right. But Last Jedi, what we've got in there? How about that? The Jedi have to end. What do you think of that? What do you think that
That
means?
was Luke that said that, wasn't it?
Yes.
I think it might mean that they have to let go of the old ways and their old rules because
Do you think he's going to train like Rey to be like a grey Jedi or something like that?
Because George Lucas said himself, the prequel trilogy is about the fall of the Jedi, all the stuff they did wrong that led to, the Empire rising. So maybe Luke has realized this because he tried to rebuild the Jedi and he failed. So maybe by trying to rebuild the Jedi and failing, he's realized that he can't do things the way the Jedi did. They have to do a new way. They can't be Jedi anymore. They have to be something else.
I'm hoping that's what it means, and that could be interesting because there's a fear that this could just be like Empire Strikes Back again, the same way that Force Awakens was A New Hope again. But I'm hoping if this is like Luke trying to forge a new direction for how, like where the use of the Force will go, like what Force users will be in the next couple of years.
Yeah,
That
I feel
could be
like they're going to be
interesting.
something new. I feel like it's called The Last Jedi because Luke is the last Jedi because he's leaving the ways of the Jedi and starting something new.
Yeah, like it's the end of the Jedi, but it's not the end of like the Force and lightsabers.
Yeah,
and
so I feel like the ending of this
wearing cloaks.
The ending of this isn't going to be the ending of Empire Strikes Back, where it's just like, oh my god, how do they come back from this? I feel like it's going to be maybe they just suffered a bit of a loss, but they're coming together and it's like. The Jedi are gone, but we will build something better. I don't know. That's what I think about that line. It's very likely I could be wrong.
Could be, but I'm fascinated to see.
I think it's just them, Luke, building something that's not the Jedi, but is like Force users with lightsabers.
Agreed. Well, we've run out of trailers. Did you want to do a quick little recommendations before we go head on out of here?
And I'm going to say something controversial right now, which shouldn't be controversial.
Yeah.
I watched the Netflix series 13 Reasons Why.
Oh.
And I enjoyed it. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about this show.
I haven't watched it because it looks very kind of like high school. Listen to my problems. And I was just kind of like, I don't care.
Yeah, a little bit, but
A little bit.
at the same time,
I've heard people say
it's very real. It's very realistic, and it's very like... It's not just like, oh, this person said a mean thing. It's very much, this person fucking raped me.
Okay.
So it's very real. And it's not just tiny little things and blah, they did this tiny little thing to me. It's like, no, they did this insanely fucked up thing.
It's a lot of, I don't know, like I've heard like people say that it's like it portrays kind of like suicide in a not a good way, like in a dangerous way, like people who could be like
just
suffering.
I feel like people who say that is just because people are afraid to talk about it at all because it's such a taboo topic that we're not allowed to talk about it. We can't reference it at all. Not in the
land of podcasts.
Well, my mum works at a school and like she's not a counselor, but her job is similar to that of a counselor.
Yeah.
And it's like she's literally not allowed to say the word suicide. Not allowed to say the word suicide. So, in my opinion...
So what if someone's on like a... Is it Mufti Day? Is that what that shit's called in New South Wales?
Fucking Mufti Day, yeah.
It's a casual close day, you fucking Welsh cunts.
I know, it's fucked. But whatever.
Anyway, yeah, so if someone's wearing like a suicide silence or a... what's that other bit? Suicidal tendencies t-shirt, they're not allowed to mention what's on their t-shirt?
They're probably not allowed to wear the t-shirts.
Fuck it. You can't stop kids wearing their little emo band t-shirts or their little crossover fresh t-shirts.
This isn't Deniliquin she wears.
Oh, it's true. Deniliquin. They're probably all wearing... What's a country...
Overalls.
Overalls. Playing the fucking...
Banjo.
The banjo and the
fiddle.
Blowing in a fucking bottle just...
With free exercise. They all have
country
youths.
fucks.
Yeah. But no,
Kill yourself. No,
I feel like the show... I feel like people say that because people are afraid to talk about suicide. They're afraid that if I say the word suicide, someone's going to commit suicide. They just say that. So everything they say is just because people are afraid to talk about it. And because it shows the suicide, it doesn't do that thing where like, oh, she starts to do it and the camera goes away. No, it fucking shows it.
I feel like that's a reason why people like, especially like what's that? Headspace have been like, would rather you didn't show people cutting their wrist and stuff.
It has a trigger warning though. Like before you start the episode, it says, "Hey, in this episode, you're gonna see a suicide."
Mm.
So like maybe if there's someone in that state of mind, maybe watching someone do that maybe isn't the best thing for them. But
I
don't
can't
know.
speak with authority on it. I didn't watch the show, so I don't.
I feel
I
like a
don't
lot
know.
of these professionals that have talked about it haven't watched the show either. But that's not the point.
I don't. The premise of the show didn't interest me, so that's,
There you go.
yeah.
You don't
I
have to
don't know, I
watch
was
it if
like,
the premise didn't interest you.
nah.
But for me, there was a lot of great acting. There was some good drama. And it talked about some real issues that
Mm.
don't get talked about enough, like
Oh, there
rape
was
culture, the idea of consent,
Mm.
bullying as in general.
I feel like that's all we talk about these days. That's all we talk about is consent and bullying.
Yeah, but think of how many big like TV shows and movies that really have the conversation about what is consent.
Jessica Jones. I don't know.
Okay, true. But other than, no, because this is the thing. Like,
Mm.
she got spoiler alert.
Mm.
She goes to the counselor like in one of the last episodes and talking about how she got raped, and the counselor's like, "Did you say no?" She's like, "No." Did you force him off you? Like, "No." Then it's okay. Yeah, he was a shit counselor.
Yeah.
So he kind of talks about while she didn't say no, she didn't try to stop him. That doesn't mean she consented.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
That's
Oh,
right.
there's this other movie I think on Netflix that I keep meaning to watch, which is I think it's called The Discovery, and it's about where this guy like finds his scientist finds like conclusive evidence of an afterlife, and so everyone starts killing themselves.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, and then it's like about these people who were left, and it's kind of talking about like big kind of like sci-fi kind of fantasy concept wrapped around this kind of like indie drama
Yeah,
thing,
so
talking
you
about
watched
suicide.
it?
I haven't watched it. I've seen a trailer and I was like, I'll watch that at some point. I just haven't been in the mood for it. But that would be something I'd probably watch before 13 Reasons Why, just because a bunch of teenage kids or sci-fi indie drama.
I feel like very, very different things they'd be dealing with.
Yeah, different things, but I
Because she committed suicide because she was depressed. They committed suicide. I'm like, yeah, let's go to what's better. But yeah.
But I've just been playing a lot of Horizon Zero Dawn. It's my game of the year so far. I quite like
so
it.
even though you played Fallout and you played Batman,
I quite like it. It's real good. It's very
yeah, I concur.
yeah. And I've also been watching a lot of comedy specials that have been like popping up on like
I watched
Netflix and Stan.
watched one last night called Lucas Brothers on Drugs.
Oh yeah.
Real good.
Oh, you were telling me about that earlier,
Yeah,
just
I was telling you
before
about that
the podcast.
before.
It looks good. I'm gonna take that recommendation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that maybe tonight. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Are we still hanging out tonight?
Yeah.
Probably not something to ask on the podcast.
Mm.
hey, are we hanging out tonight? Oh, yeah, I think we'd go do this. We'll be at this place at this time. Come meet us, people.
Please don't. Please don't come to my place.
Aiden is...
Eh.
6969 Blowjob Lane.
0438.
That actually how your mobile number starts? I don't
No,
know.
that's how
don't remember.
Carl Chandler's mobile number. I actually have his mobile number on here. Oh, fuck
Is that
it.
his current one?
He hasn't changed it. Like he doesn't change his number.
Yeah, let's read out Carl Chandler's number.
Fuck it, because we're those kind of cunts.
Well, everyone in the little Dum Dum Club knows it.
Yeah, fuck it. It's Carl Chandler. I've got it saved in here. 0438 660 836. Fuck
There
you.
we go. Fuck you. Go get cancer, you cunt.
He didn't have cancer. You can't tell someone who didn't have cancer to go and get cancer. That's fucked. You can tell someone who had cancer as a child to get cancer. Those are the cancer rules, Brett.
I don't think you can really do either.
No, I think you can tell someone who had cancer as a child to get cancer. I think that's ethically okay.
Okay. Okay.
No, that's fucked. All right.
Let's wrap
If
this
you
up.
want to contact us, we're on Facebook, facebook.com/PCMR Podcast. We're on Twitter
Yes.
@PCMR Podcast. We are
Yes.
on Instagram @PCMR Podcast. I haven't updated it in ages. I'm going to get back to it. I keep saying I will, but I will.
We've been busy.
Own personal Twitter accounts. I'm at Aiden's Vlog, AIDANSVLOG.
I'm at MeMan125.
Spelled how it sounds. Say your fucking catchphrase, you piece of shit. We have an
That is
email.
the worst catchphrase. Spell how it sounds.
You said it to start, now you must say it forever. That's how these things work. We have an email address, pcmrpodcast@gmail.com.au. We have a website, pcmrpodcast.net. There's YouTube and iTunes. You can subscribe
Where
to
you
us on there.
listen.
That's where you can listen. That's all our shit.
Thank you.
We'll see you around. Next week, we'll be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Get excited.
And maybe in the recommendations, I might mention my feelings on Fate of the Furious. We didn't quite see it before this podcast, but I'm hoping to go see it soon. And we'll see what my opinions are on that.
Yes. Until
Oh,
then.
that's another thing. I watched Fast 6 and Fast 7 like the other night.
Well, of course you did.
They're amazing. They're amazing films. You should watch
Of course
them.
you did.
Watch them, you cuck boy.
Bye.
You cuck fuck.